we still have a lot of work to do, but we are seeing some encouraging signs.
Well, tonight on DC News Now at 5, extending the youth curfew, how long officials are planning to keep it around. And deadline for immunizations, how a school system plans to handle those students who didn't get their shots. And later, honoring a hero, how state leaders are giving back to someone who made the ultimate sacrifice.
And Mark, it's dry right now and lots of sunshine are being seen outside, but things are going to change on a dime and we'll have some storms and some rain back in the future. And I'll talk about our future cast coming up in just a few minutes. Stick around for that.
All right, thank you, Scott, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall. Prince George's County is extending its youth curfew until the end of the year. Police started enforcing it after a violent summer, and County Executive Angela Alsobrooke says the curfew is just one tool in the toolbox, but from her perspective, it's working, and that's why she wants to continue to enforce it. Our Daniel Hamburg has the story.
Prince George's County Police started enforcing existing curfew laws on September 9th after a spike in crime.
Our parents who are in partnership with us, they want to know whether or not their children are allowed to be outside past 10 o'clock on a weeknight or midnight on a weekend.
And according to police, crime dropped over the last month. But is it just because of the curfew?
That we had a 59% decline in carjackings. Between those curfew hours gives us information to say that there is a connection. But after 30 days, I think all of us would agree it's probably premature to say that that was the exact reason.
County Executive Angela Alsobrooke says the curfew is working, but there's more to the strategy.
We have additional overtime. Our department came up with various strategies going into apartment complexes and other places around the county. So it wasn't just the curfew.
Alsobrooke says there was a 74% decline in homicides during the month of September compared to August.
I attribute a lot of it to a renewed focus, attention, a reset, is what the county executive would say. I think all of those things add into a recipe.
Police Chief Malik Aziz says the few kids who officers did come into contact with were educated and given resources.
A behavior was changed or a cooperative effect took place.
He says the county needs more time to assess the full impact of the curfew, but the department is open to working with anyone who has other positive solutions.
We just need more community and parental involvement because the police are not the singular source for public safety in the county. We're all in this together.
And that was Daniel Hamburg reporting. That curfew is being extended through the end of the year for kids 16 and younger, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Sunday to Thursday, and between midnight and 5 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. A man is in the hospital after being shot in the head in what police believe is a targeted shooting. It happened around 12:30 this morning off of South Potomac Street in Hagerstown. Police say they found Davon Smith in a driveway with a gunshot wound to the head. Police helped Smith until emergency services arrived. He was then rushed to the hospital where he's listed in stable condition.
The victim has been transported to a hospital in the Baltimore area. He's considered in stable condition at this point. Our criminal investigators did arrive on scene, and through their investigation, we do believe that this was a targeted shooting.
Well, police say the investigation is ongoing.
Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme.
Legendary actor Angela Lansbury of Murder, She Wrote and Beauty of the Beast fame has died at the age of 96. Lansbury's family announced the actress died in her sleep at her Los Angeles home today. The English star was a celebrated actress in the U.S. for her work both in Hollywood and on Broadway. Her career spanned over 8 decades, where she won several Tony Awards and an honorary Academy Award in 2013. Andrea Lansbury died 5 days before her 97th birthday. New tonight, the U.S. Capitol Police say the Rayburn House office building received a letter which what they describe as concerning language. They've not said what was written on the letter. Police are currently looking into who mailed it. Well, today is the deadline for students who are missing routine immunizations. Now, for students between pre-K and 5th grade, DC News Now's Annalisa Gale is live in front of the Columbia Heights Children's Hospital in Northwest DC, and she's been digging into what happens next for students who did not meet the deadline as DC public schools try to stop outbreaks. Annalisa.
Well, Mark, this is one of the children's national locations available in 5 parts of the city until November 18th to make sure that those students who are still not up to date are able to get up to date with those shots. Now, we heard today from the DC Council about some of the challenges that they may be facing.
We continue our commitment to putting the full weight of the district's resources toward ensuring that our youth are immunized against preventable infectious diseases and to using enforcement as an important tool in achieving that goal.
DC Public Schools says roughly 90% of students have met the deadline for routine immunizations for young children up to the 5th grade, and about 1,000 will get more time to become compliant.
Per OSCE guidance, any family that indicates that they've already submitted updated immunization records or is willing to immediately schedule an appointment will be given a 2-week grace period.
In a hearing with the DC Council, DCPS's Chief of School Improvement and Supports also says so far 24 families have refused to move forward with immunizations. Makita Jennifer had to pick up her 5-year-old son from school because she was told he was missing one of his shots.
The process was he went to school this morning. They called me and told me he was missing a shot. We are just coming to get his 1 shot, and then he's going right back to school.
Councilman Phil Mendelson says he is concerned with the flaws with the immunization record-keeping system used by DC's health department.
The accuracy issues with reports from DC Health District of Columbia Immunization Information System, DOSIS, making it difficult to trust its validity.
There were some hiccups. The systems are better now. So it's not been perfect, and we're working on improving that. Having said that, let me point out that immunization mandates have been enforced and used across this country for decades, since before they even had computers. In the past, parents had to bring in paperwork to show that their children had been vaccinated. Right now, we're at the point where 75% of parents don't need to bring in that paperwork. The rest of them do. So it is not perfect. We're improving that, but we don't think that that's a reason for us to back off on our enforcement of the mandate.
Another deadline to watch for, Mark. Students 12 and older have until January 3rd to make sure they get their COVID vaccinations. And those middle schoolers and those high schoolers have until November 4th to make sure they get their routine immunizations. Live in Columbia Heights tonight, Annalisa Gale, DC News Now.
Annalisa, thank you. Well, new at 5, police have arrested a man in connection to a suspicious death we first told you about last week in Prince George's County. 60-year-old Jamie Porras accused of killing his stepson, 53-year-old Kelly McClary. Officers found McClary dead from what appeared to be blunt force trauma and stab wounds last Friday. We talked to his neighbor who was shocked by the death. Porras is facing 1st and 2nd-degree murder. Well, new today, the White House has released a preview of their debt relief application form. Students that have taken out federal loans for their education will be able to apply for up to $20,000 in debt release. Now, it was released on Twitter, and the White House says that the application form will be short and simple and available in both English and Spanish. And people can see what information they will need before they can apply. The biggest question still remains as when people can apply. Now, the White House saying it can happen sometime this month. The good news, applicants will have until the end of December 2023 to fill out the application. Meteorologist Scott Sumner joins us now with a check on the forecast. And Scott, I guess we could be seeing rain, which is a little bit disappointing because Monday and most of Tuesday was a great start to the weekend.
I thought you were going to say, I washed my car.
No, I didn't do that. I did that over the weekend. I did that over the weekend, and it looks great.
Yeah, you got a couple of days, good days in, Mark, for sure. All right, absolutely. Well, right now, it's beautiful outside. Current conditions, as you can see, 71 degrees, sunny skies. We have a light south wind in most areas, but 11 miles an hour here at Reagan National. The sun sets tonight at 6:35. And you can see beautiful weather not only here in D.C., but extending further to our neighbors in the north here. Live camera at Hagerstown, Maryland, the dual highway here, Highway 40, if you recognize that. And A beautiful, beautiful scene tonight, and really into the start of your Wednesday. However, clouds are going to be on the increase. We'll get into that in our regular forecast in just a few minutes, but I do want to take a look at some temperatures. Responding to the nice warmth and the sunshine that we see out there, we're seeing the numbers like this. Waldorf at 76, D.C. at 71, Manassas and Leesburg at 72. Winchester, though, at 68 degrees and 5 degrees warmer at Culpeper. Luray at 70, Woodstock at 74, and even up by the Mason-Dixon line there, we're running 70 or low 70s across the board. So really not too bad across the region. As nice as those numbers are, these numbers are just as nice. You know, we talk about it here in the weather department, and the dew point temperatures, the lower the number, the drier the atmosphere, the better the feel. So you can go out and do a 10-mile run and really not sweat too much. But if you had some of these numbers about 20 degrees higher into the 60s, you do a 10-mile run, you feel it. So these numbers are wonderful here. And usually in October and November, we see this type of weather pattern building across the region. So with the satellite and radar, again, you can see, again, clear skies. There are some clouds down in southern Virginia. We may see a few of those later tonight, and more clouds and showers. With that system out towards Chicago's way, that is our next weather maker that's going to roll in here in just a couple days, and we'll get into that. But these are our headlines here. We're watching the front, which will move in on Thursday. Clouds tomorrow, front Thursday, and then some cooler and breezier conditions on Friday. How cool and how breezy? Got to stick around for my 7-day forecast.
Okay, Scott, hey, thank you. And Ukrainian President Zelensky addressed the G7 leaders today, thanking them for their support and pleading for more. The meeting followed a series of Russian missile attacks across the country, which have now reportedly killed at least 20 people. DC News Now's anchor Chris Flanagan joins us with more. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Mark, good afternoon. The leaders made it clear today the attacks today and yesterday on peaceful citizens have only strengthened their alliance. Ukrainian President Zelensky warned President Biden and other G7 leaders today that Russian escalation of the war threatens all of them. Zelensky pleaded for even more help, specifically money to help create an air shield for Ukraine. The G7 leaders pledged in a statement that they will stand firmly with Ukraine for as long as it takes.
It is our primary task to provide Ukraine with the assistance that it needs.
Zelensky's address came just one day after Russian missiles blasted multiple Ukrainian cities during morning rush hour, killing at least 19 people, injuring dozens more, and burning countless buildings. Now, the United Nations plans to vote tomorrow to condemn Russia's recent annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions. Much more coming up on DC News Now at 5:30. In the studio, Chris Flanagan, DC News Now.
A Ukrainian soldier who returned to the United States was honored for his bravery. Aleksandr Chekya joined Ukraine's military after President Vladimir Putin invaded the country. Chekya lost his leg in an explosion. He's now back at Medical Center Orthodontics and Prosthetics in Silver Spring, Maryland. And he met with Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen after he helped him receive the prosthetic leg. He's currently undergoing physical therapy. And to make it even better, he's set to leave the center sometime next month.